Storytelling is the key to captivating the hearts and minds of your audience. It allows you to beat your competition. In today's video, let's talk through 3 ways to sharpen this skill and make sure you stay tuned towards the end for one additional example. From branding standpoint, every individual and corporation has a unique story. The challenge is to build its foundations while telling a strong, emotional, and coherent story that allows brands to connect with their audiences in a human, authentic, solid way. These stories should, of course, appeal to the audience's emotional side. Branding, thus, is more about emotions. As Les Bennett said back in 2007, we realized branding was not about a strong communication strategy, but an emotional approach to people. Because most consumers make decisions based on emotional impulses instead of rational thought processes. So, what has remained true over all this time is that nothing builds a brand like emotion, and nothing drives emotion like video. Again, please make sure to tackle that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and give us a like. Join our community of grit and perseverance type individuals. So let's jump right in to those examples. First off, let's review the classic components of building a story. Characters. Characters are the elements that are living in the story. These are the elements whose actions determine the flow of the plot. Message. This could be your brand identity. You want to communicate what's beyond your personal or corporate brand, core values, mission, vision. Moreover, you can communicate changes in your company or career path. Plot. It defines what the story is about, what the audience will experience by reading, listening, or watching your brand story. In the plot, you set up the motivations, challenges, goals, and the road characters follow to achieve something. Conflict. What particular situation must your character overcome to achieve that goal? It could be a situation or a life-changing moment in a character's journey. It is all imperative to add credible components. From here, we can introduce slight variants so that the story fits better to your overall brand identity. That's why you must set your values. Your brand story is supposed to showcase them. By doing that, people will identify you as unique and original. Mental exercise. There are many brands in the market, but what makes you unique? Never miss out on this thought process. When telling your story, what's going to be your approach? Do you know how to structure an authentic, credible story to tell people who you are? When it comes to a corporate brand, how would you like people to identify your company? Examples. Some brands master life coaching speeches and encourage their audience by spreading a self-improvement message. Other brands may appeal to people who are into mental health awareness and come up with a good story on the importance of this topic. These campaigns will succeed if they bring up emotional, inspirational stories to encourage people to embrace their core values. When designing your storytelling strategy, ask yourself, what is the big idea that connects all the aspects? What global concept will be there through all these actions? Are there close feelings in your stories? Is your brand story capable of producing feelings in the audience? There should be a unified brand story and a value proposition. You have to know the identity in detail to be able to enhance and amplify it. Otherwise, your storytelling strategy won't thrive your brand. So, let's talk into those 3 reasons you should use storytelling in your branding process. From a business standpoint, storytelling is a particular way humans interact with each other by sharing thoughts, feelings, and experiences. Some people love romantic, horror, or funny stories. Ultimately, storytelling is a tool for experts to communicate corporate brand values through stories by calling up emotions in their stories they tell. It all comes from understanding and studying your audience. If you know enough about your targeted audience, you'll be able to stimulate the imagination, See your audience as your fan base. So your main goal is to make it part of your story. Once your fans listen to your brand story, they'll share your pipe dreams, and most important, they'll build a long legacy for you beyond the game. Make sure your stories will educate people on who you really are. Keep in mind, never underestimate your audience. If you're interested in money and not in giving value to people, they'll understand it fast and you'll probably gain haters instead of fans. Remember that in the ever-changing world, a story can be spread by multiple channels. For example, the advertising you get every time you watch videos on YouTube or that post you make on LinkedIn or Instagram. So why is storytelling essential for the branding process? 1, everyone can build a brand, and everyone has a unique story. From a branding perspective, every individual can communicate a message. We all do things on a daily basis that make people see us in a particular way. That's our identity. As in business, in the sports industry, college, professional athletes tell what they have to overcome to be in the spot that they are. They share their routines, pains, processes with their fan base. If you want to see an excellent example of storytelling, make sure you click on the right corner to watch our video on the life of Joshua Paschal. You and I know this much is true. These stories make thousands of impressions and reactions in your audience. People react in many ways. Some people like them and others don't. But the big takeaway from a branding perspective is that everyone can do this today using multiple channels. If you're grit-minded, dare yourself to share your routine to teach people how to improve their productivity. In this example, people will admire you because you can impact their lives by sharing your story. Audiences have always loved hearing stories. Sharing stories is part of our essence. Thanks to technology, stories can be shared like never before. Number 2, storytelling is the heart of content and communication. Storytelling is a handy tool in a brand strategy because it's the heart of content and communication. To be honest, conventional corporate speech format is too cold and formal and can confuse your audience. Whereas everyone likes a good story that appeals to our feelings. In fact, many studies have demonstrated that new information is easy to learn when it has an emotional component to it. Number 3, boost your brand awareness and benefit the community building process. A brand strategy based on storytelling helps consumers identify with you. The reason being is the consumers want to know what is behind your brand and products. If you reveal who you are by telling them a good story, you make them part of it. Never miss out on this. This approach will make the difference between you and your competitors. Nowadays, we constantly hear experts talking about storytelling. It is about integrating emotions into your brand stories to make them part of your journey, your team, and community. Brands must figure out how to master storytelling. Otherwise, building a solid brand or increasing sales will take a lot of work. Storytelling is an excellent chance to showcase your brand identity and connect it with your consumers and customers that can be achieved with your good story. Ultimately, branding is not about what you sell, but the stories and experiences you offer them. So let's add that 4th tip, and I want to thank you for sticking around until the end. Storytelling has always been a way of defining a brand's identity, transmitting its values and helping to establish its reputation. Sharing stories educates people on who we are and what we stand for. In many ways, brands are your tribe. Stories correlate in and around a company, drawing its culture and its values, its heroes and its enemies, the good and the bad, to both its employees and its customers. Each person, like each brand, has a story to tell. Great brands tell great stories. The challenges for brands is to build and communicate a solid value, and storytelling is presented as a powerful tool for that. A strong brand is built on values and emotions. From the beginning of any company, it is considered profitable to invest in it. Investing in identity is the foundation of you, and it is vital to thrive and concrete your long-term goals. Again, thanks for sticking around until the end. Please make sure to tackle that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and hit that like button. Hit it right down there in the corner. Now, again, this is Zach, helping you build that legacy beyond the game.